What's happening, family? This is another episode of Open Field Podcast. Did you miss us? Listen, life has been lifing, but I promise that we'll be more consistent moving forward. My apologies. We got my guy Michael Baldino in the house, my guy Hefe. Um, how I kind of want to start this off. Let's speak on our teams and what we got, starting with Hefe, and what we did in free agency, how we feel. Is there any positives, any negatives? Hefe, for you, is there any positives, any negatives about what y'all done in free agency so far?
Man, I love what we did, bro. We went on to just pass rusher. We
Yeah.
went on to just middle linebacker as well, bro. I love everything we did. Even retained some good guys. I love what we did.
God damn, your mic is micing right now, Hefe.
Yeah,
God damn.
that mic was crazy. That mic was crazy.
Mike, talk to me. What you like? Probably
Uh
nothing, but go ahead.
no, yeah, literally nothing. I mean, honestly, D Law, like I expected this to happen genuinely. I thought that D Law would go. What is Zach Martin? Does Zach Martin retire? I don't know. But I know that he's probably not be on the team. I think the only marquee free agent we got was Miles Sanders, which is not marquee at all. Honestly, it's just
I was about to say, what?
bad. So I mean, I just don't really know. I feel like now that we had got Miles Sanders, I don't think that we're gonna draft GT anymore.
No,
So
I don't say it at all. What about the D Law and Michael Parsons back and forth? How you feel about that?
yeah, so I think personally love Micah, but I just think that not that what he was saying was completely wrong, like because you got to think about it from his perspective. He's the leader of the team at this point. He doesn't want that type of stuff being said publicly, but at the end of the day, Demarcus Lawrence has been there for literally 10 years, basically. Drafted in 2014, he was literally the anchor of our defense, essentially, pretty much for that whole time, other than his first and second year. Like, he deserves to say what he wants about the Dallas franchise, in my opinion. He's seen it through and through for 10 years straight. So, like, I understand Micah's mad about it, but it's a type of thing where he's not wrong. Genuinely, he's not wrong. And if you were to ask me what he should do for himself, I would have said to leave because there's just no point to stay. And it's like, I knew we weren't going to sign him because we have to sign, what's his name? Micah, and we don't have that much money. He's going to be asking for a lot of money. So it's just a big mess down there, honestly.
If you're a Cowboys fan, you got to be thinking like, what we doing? I have every. Well, let me go on my team first of all. We picked up Rico Dow after letting go Miles Sanders. I do think Chuba Hubbard is our future back. He had a great season. I actually like what Rico gave me, as far as like pass catch and stuff like that. I think he's a good second edition back. I actually think that we got rid of Rico Dow, and Miles Sanders is better. I mean, it's not better. I think Rico is better than Miles Sanders, so it's kind of weird that y'all swapped him out for us.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't understand what they're doing. Like, I don't think Rico Dowdle is somebody that can be. I don't think he can be a marquee number one back. I don't think that he'll ever reach top 15 level, but he's a solid back for what he is and the amount of money that you could get
I,
for
I,
him.
I think you guys are banking on Amari Hampton or Jincy, but I don't know if you can trust that if you're going to just automatically get them. I do believe that there's a couple teams like I'm in purgatory hell right now. Like Mike might be the only one, Happy might be the only one that's excited about his team right now because between Cowboys and Panthers, like I want a receiver. We didn't get that. Like I don't know, man. What's the best pickup you guys seen this all season so far?
Uh, I think for me, it's got to be Tay Adams to the Rams, and I think a lot of people are downplaying how good Tay Adams is right now. I think he's only 2 years removed from like a 100 reception season. Um, and if you watch the tape, he still has it. Is he not as fast? Is he not as twitchy? Yes, but he still releases off the line super well. And it's going to allow Puka Nakua to be in the slot most of the time. That's going to get the best out of him and basically make him the best possible version of himself. And I think it also solidified them keeping Stafford and just continuing the window that they have until Stafford becomes, until he retires. So I think that to me was the best one by far.
Yeah, I think them picking up Tay Adams was a better addition to Cooper. Tay Adams still had it last year. Now the Baltimore picking up DeAndre Hopkins, and there's been a lot of Baltimore guys been, I'm in Maryland area right now. A lot of Baltimore guys really
Yeah,
excited about it, and it's like, did y'all watch ball last year? Because Hopkins look cooked, and they keep doing
bro. I
this.
like,
Dez Bryant, Odell, who else did they get? They got Dez, Odell, Deshaun Jackson. Like they keep getting niggas like when they pass their prime, and then like they excited about it. Like I don't like. But go ahead, Mike. What you about to? I mean, Happy, what you about to say?
bro. I do like the DeAndre Hopkins pickup. I do. But it's two pickups in free agency that's low key, like real life steals, and that's Dre Greenlaw to the Broncos, and that's AJ Dillon to the Eagles. AJ Dillon with that already superior run game, bro, it's gonna make it dynamic and diabolical, bro. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do like the AJ Dillon. Go ahead, Mike. I like the AJ Dillon pickup too, actually.
yeah, I was gonna add, yeah, the Dre Greenlaw for me is really good. I think there is some concern that he might not be able to reach the level he was, but I mean, if you watch the games that he came back from after the injury, he was still like playing at a very, very good level. And I don't think the Broncos need a linebacker that's necessarily going to just be like top five. I think they
But
just
Mike,
need.
that's the best thing about them is that you ain't got to worry about like Dre ain't going to where he got to be the guy. You just basically putting
So
a
I mean,
vet on
yeah,
a
yeah,
team
yeah.
that's already loaded, dog. Like you,
Yeah, and
that's
a vet
that's
that's already can still make high level plays, just not super consistently to be like top five, top 10.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he still can do it, and that defense is still really solid. So I think it's just something that they needed for sure. And the last one that I like, we've given Early's a big DK guy. A lot of other us, have given gripes on him, but I do feel like that was a good pickup for Pittsburgh and what they are going to do with Russell Wilson. They basically wanted to add another deep threat where they can kind of, run the play action, take deep shots across the field. The only question is with that is you're going to have to upgrade the offensive line so that the run game's actually good enough to make the
oh,
offense that you
who
want.
we talking about as far as you said Russell Wilson.
Wait, isn't Russell Wilson still with the Pittsburgh?
No, Russell Wilson's out of there.
So who? Oh,
They don't have a
that's
quarterback. Russell Wilson's
I'm
Russell.
not
gone,
gonna lie.
and
I could
then
see the Steelers getting Jackson Dart, bro. I could see that, bro.
I think they're gonna wait till the draft too. Honestly, I think they'll get or
Yeah.
nah, but he had a bad pro day. Not pro day, but I don't like. They could get your boy that just won the championship, but Will Howard had a terrible combine, so I don't think they want to go through that again. But
Yeah,
they
he did.
but they went and picked up Mason Rudolph again, which is weird.
No, I mean shout out Will Howard, but I just don't see him being a quarterback at the NFL level. I see him being like a solid backup, but he just doesn't. It doesn't scream. He doesn't scream, starter in the future to me. Like it's just a problem with getting quarterbacks on super stacked teams. Like if you're in college and you're a quarterback on a super stacked team, you're gonna have to have some traits that are just off the charts. And I don't think he has particularly any traits off the charts. You're essentially just relying on the fact that he could just become like a really good processor of the field, which
How
I'm not
how
saying he's bad in that, but I don't think he's good either.
how are we
I
feeling
think he's
about the
great.
Pittsburgh getting the one and only DK Metcalf? How we feeling about that?
Yeah, no, I'm saying like I like it. It's just with like I see what they're trying to do. They want to be a run heavy team that can basically work off of play action and just basically just throw shots deep all game long. Like that's what they want to do. There's still questions. The offensive line, if that's really going to work though, especially in that division, you're going to have to upgrade the offensive line and you're going to have to go and get a receiver that can work the middle of the field in the slot because I don't think if you're asking because I don't DK is yeah, I don't think DK can do that, and like George Pickens can, but that's not what he's best at. George
But
Pickens.
but I don't understand this. Thing I don't understand is that okay? I think that you're right. Get a wide receiver, but they had some guys last year. I like. What was the guy's name that was a burner last year? What was his name?
Was it Corley
Uh,
or
no, it was another one. That was the shorter guy. He was cooking last year too. I think he wore 19. King, Isaiah King just said, "Where did Rodgers go? Nowhere." Um, I actually like the Pittsburgh pickup. I think they could be Broad Street bullies over there. I don't like the Seattle pickup because I just feel like you got rid of DK to get Cooper, but you gave Cooper Cup 15 million a year. A lot of teams I feel like this was a weird offseason for me because a lot of teams I just feel like just did some shit just to do it. Like it's
Oh,
almost like
Calvin
buying a car.
Austin's receiver you're talking about, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, I love him. I love Kyle Austin. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of guys just like did stuff just to do it this offseason, and it was kind of weird. Like move they didn't need to make. Like you got rid of DK, but then you picked up Cooper Cup. But it's almost like Cooper Cup, as good as a route runner he is, it's like you need to get a star receiver to help out Sam Darnold. Then you got rid of Gino to get Sam Darnold. That's a weird offseason, man. I'll be honest with you. Even with you
Well,
guys, they got rid of
yeah.
y'all picked up
Bro,
Miles
Yeah.
Sanders, got rid
a
of what's his
lot
name.
of
It's a weird
teams
offseason.
going to transform in the draft, bro. A lot of teams just building their shell right now, but a lot of teams
Yeah.
going to transform
It's
in the
it
draft.
seemed like Hefe they feel like this draft is so strong. Guys are almost setting their team up for the draft pick, as if the draft pick is almost like the season vet.
Well, like
Yeah, bro.
the
Yeah.
Seahawks are the weirdest thing. Because how many years did they give Sam? Was it 3? Or was it
Yeah,
more than
3 years.
Yeah, 300 mil.
So it's like to me, I thought that they were gonna just rebuild and retool on the offense side when they traded Geno, but then they signed DeMarcus Lawrence. I think the DeMarcus Lawrence pickup was really good for them because it's literally the one thing that I feel like that they were kind of missing. Just a
But they
dynamic
they, they
edge
still did
rusher.
they keep Williams from last year?
Yeah, but I mean
Yeah, that's a good pickup.
Williams is or he is a D end, but I just feel like I just feel like that getting another guy that can pressure the quarterback is going to make their defense a lot better. Like a lot. And their defense is already really good, but it could make him one of the best defenses in the league, like top 5, top 7 consensus.
I just feel like you upgraded your
Hey, Mike,
defense,
who you
but
talking
now
about?
your offense is suspect. Seattle. They upgraded their defense,
Seattle
but
getting
now
DeMarcus
they
Lawrence.
offense is suspect as hell now. Like now you can worry about the
Nah,
offense.
bro.
Like
Hey, I agree with you, Mike. I think Seattle defense gonna be something to not to be toyed with. I think they're gonna build through the draft, though, bro. They can go running back. They can go receiver. They can address that like the skill position needs through the draft this year, bro.
well, they don't need
It's gonna
no
be
running back. If Kenneth Walker is healthy, he's a top 10 back or at least top 15
yeah,
back.
for sure. But if you pair somebody with them, that's nasty, bro. Like a lot of teams going with two setbacks now, bro. A
But
lot
this
of
is the
teams going
thing.
with two setbacks.
This is like I think they're totally bought into Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's number one. They think Jackson Smith and Jigba can get to that top 10, top 15 level. Do I think that he's good enough to be top 10 by the end of next year? I don't know
I don't know. 'Cause
particularly,
I feel like a lot of times, even
but
with DK being banged up, he still got the number one targets. So now I'm looking
right.
at it like, okay, when because you know what it looked like. We thought the same thing with Juju. Juju he was getting 13 yards season. So then you get rid of AB, and now Juju get number one targets, and he did not like a number one receiver. I just feel like now you're putting say they trying to do with Garrett Wilson, not Garrett Wilson, but what's the other boy that plays for Chris Olave. I just not y'all want these guys to be number ones, but they're not proven yet. Now, mind you, here's my biggest problem. You went and got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold need a guaranteed number one. You can't make Sam Darnold be this guy who don't like look at the situation he had last year. He had a great situation last year. Now you put him into I feel like a worse situation offensively, and you're banking on him being this elite quarterback that can get Smith and Jigma can be like I don't know about that, man. I think
Hey,
Yeah.
Geno knew
bro,
Smith.
listen. I think with Cooper Cup, and this ain't no shade or hate or dissing DK. I think Cooper Cup is a better receiver than DK. When it
Yeah.
comes to running routes and getting open, I
Oh
think he's
yeah.
better at that,
Obviously,
and he's
yeah.
going to provide so much of a threat on that other side that Njigba has to do something. He has to. It's
Yeah,
not even a choice, bro.
I see both of your guys' points. I see
That's cool, but
but
then what
I
happens
just
when he gets hurt like he normally does? Now what?
because it's like
Then it's
also
then
it's
then it's
like
on his shoulders,
they
bro.
don't have a big body receiver anymore. And I feel like with
Yeah.
Sam, you're gonna need that because like they don't have offensive line. So I think that's what they're gonna address in the draft is they're just going to just get as many offensive linemen as they can because their offensive line was trashed last year, especially with someone like Sam Darnold who if you don't give him, if you can pressure him, that's where he's worst at. And that's where he goes from looking like a top 15 quarterback to a top 25 quarterback, as if he's getting pressured and there's just no stopping that pressure. But it'll be interesting, honestly, like about that team. That it's just weird. The Seahawks, to me, ever since they won the Super Bowl, they're just kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out on rebuilding / competing for a championship. It's kind of similar to the Blazers. It's the exact same ownership too, but it's like you've got veterans who are just and then you've got some promising young guys, but you're not going all in on one side.
I hope so. Like I said, I'm just worried about trusting. I'm worried about trusting Sam Darnold because it can go bad real fast.
Like
Last year
I
showed
love
me
JSN though.
I'm done with
JSN gonna
believing
have
in
to be
guys.
his.
Last year
Yeah.
showed me I'm done with believing in guys who ain't proven. And I seen somebody picked a Gardner Minshew. Like it's certain guys. I'm just done with that. Like I'm just done with guys who ain't
Yeah.
proven. Yes, Sam had a great year last year, but he folded in the playoffs. And I also look at the situation that he had around him. If I was the Vikings, I actually keep Sam Darnold for another year or so, and then let JJ, have a year where he's actually healthy and behind him. But to get him and make him your franchise guy, I feel like you said, Seattle just kind of trying shit, but they don't have no plan for like the future going all the way through. And it's like we'll see, but the defense gonna be tight. I think they picked up last year already, and Lawrence gonna be a problem with that cornerback play and that safety play, and that linebacker play, honestly. But man,
And
I don't trust that offense.
it's just like being mediocre in the NFL that is the hardest track to winning a title. Being bad and getting a number
Hmm.
1 pick or getting a top 3 pick for 2 or 3 years, like being at that level, honestly, might be better to winning a championship because there's just so many players on the field at one particular time. Depth matters the most out of anything, and you need a good quarterback
It
too. Like
does. It
all of
does.
those
It
things
does.
factor into winning a championship. And like, yeah, like look at like we always talk about teams like Washington, teams like Houston who get a quarterback and they have him on his rookie deal, and then now we can go and be aggressive. That's the way that teams have been winning Super Bowls. It's literally only the Eagles that have found a way to win with a quarterback getting a lot of money to where we may be questioning, is he getting overpaid? Is he
Quarterback,
not
wide
getting overpaid?
receivers, defensive line, they paying a lot of guys, bro.
Right, but like in general,
How we feel about the Eagles losing Darius Slay and losing Garner?
They not
I
hurt at all. They got a Debo. I like that Debo pickup, bro. I like that Debo pickup for them. It allows them to be aggressive up front and play tight run stop defense and smash mouth defense like they've been playing all year.
yeah, like I don't think it necessarily matters that much. I think this is what Howie does. Like Howie identified that these 2 corners that they have are going to be special. They're just going to continue to get better. Like, what's his name? Quinyon Mitchell was really good last year and was locking stuff down. But I think Cooper DeJean is going to take an even bigger step and be on essentially almost the same level as Quinyon. Not saying that he wasn't good last year, but I just feel like Quinyon throughout the entire year was strapping. Cooper was playing really well, but I feel like Quinyon was a little bit better. But I feel like DeJean this year is going to take a big jump, so that allows them to get a corner win in the slot that's just not as much money, and that allows them to do other things because obviously they're going to have to pay Jalen Carter. I think that's the main reason why they did this, is because they're trying to get as much cap as possible to sign Jalen Carter because we all know how important he is. I think that they definitely. I don't see them being as dominant just because they also lost guys like Josh Sweat. They lost some depth pieces, but I think they still win the division, and I still think they're going to be really good. And once the playoffs come around, I feel like that they'll be just fine. But they might have a little bit of struggles beginning of the year, but probably not, honestly.
I don't even think them losing the edge guys might. I don't even think that's gonna bother them much because when in this draft they can address that. They can go. It's so many edge
Right.
guys in this draft
You're right.
through so
And
many
they're going to
rounds. They
drop
can
too.
address that.
And a lot of
Yeah,
guys are going to
I
drop.
would. I would pick. Yeah, and I will pick up. I will pick up more picks
James
just to
Pierce is
get
going to
more
drop.
guys.
James Pierce will
Yeah,
probably drop. I
yeah.
mean, like guys
But
like
they
Shamar
can really
Stewart.
be a problem.
How do we
Yeah.
feel about the Commanders?
A guy that they're really high on, the Eagles is really high on is a DB named Ringo. I was looking into him, dude is really talented, 6'2",
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
207.
yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles was really high on him. They really like him. They paid him
Stand,
really well.
stand in that division. Do we like the Debo pickup? So I hate it, but Debo pickup, Larry Tunsil pickup, who was literally one of the
Tunsil.
worst offensive linemen. Like he was, no, he like bro, he like led the league in pitchers last year. Like I don't think the rest because he was scouted. I think they just seen him probably because he does have a couple Pro Bowls and shit like that under his belt. I think they seen that shit and was like, all right, we're gonna get him because he's available. But it's the reason why the think about this, right? As bad as the fucking Texas O line was last year, they got rid of him for a reason. Like
Right.
sometimes teams, like, I feel like they don't pay attention, bro. Like, did y'all watch his productivity last year? He was literally Mr. False Start in holding. You know how many
Yeah.
plays got called back because of him? I just would.
But who was protecting Jaden's blindside last year? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't too high need, but Jaden was making a lot of plays off script, and it worked for him. If he can get if like we seen what Pat did with two bad tackles last year, and he still made it work because he's a good quarterback. I believe if Tunsil can give him a second more than the last guy did, that's an improvement. Just a second more.
But
And
half we we
I
literally
like
just
the
watched
Tunsil pick,
Tunzel.
honestly.
Tunzel just fucked. He just completely fucked. C.J. Stroud. Sophomore season all up. Do we want him to fuck up another sophomore season for a rising quarterback?
I don't think
I
that
don't think Washington
I
gonna
think
allow that, bro.
he definitely didn't help. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he was. I think there was other guys playing worse than him, but he definitely didn't help. I think when it comes to the Debo thing, it depends on what you think. Like to me, it's like he's not going to be somebody that just game changes his offense, but that you don't really need that person because you already have Terry McLaurin. I think the reason why they made this deal was strictly because Cliff Kingsbury will use him in the way that he is best used, which is because you
Facts.
know how many, if you watch a tape, like
Facts.
they used screen passes more than any other team in the league. Like the amount of screen passes they used was ridiculous. So they're going to give Debo the ball, and he can still run after catch. The biggest problem with Debo, as we've talked about, is he can't create any separation.
I said you need it, but you
Really
need to get
hard.
that man some weapon. This is why I say, man, I don't know what the DMV scouting process is doing, but they can't be watching the film. You went and got D Hop from Baltimore. You went and got Debo. Debo is not the type of receiver that Dayton Daniels needs. Like that. That's what I'm saying because I think he's out of shape. I think he's lost a step. He's injury prone. But y'all picking him up as to be a very vital part of y'all offense, and I just don't like it, man. Like I don't know. I think it's a
If they
pick
don't
that,
address receiver, bro, they're gonna hurt for that. If they
man.
don't get
And the
another
Commander
receiver
fans
to
are
pair with
excited. They're
Terry, bro,
excited.
they're gonna
Like are
hurt.
y'all watching the games?
But here's the truth. They should be, bro. Like if you look at what Washington does well, bro, them end rounds and stuff like that, Debo can have success in this on this offense, especially with Cliff. Cliff can scheme him open and scheme him the ball. Like that's not the issue. The issue is, are you going to get Terry somebody on the other side who could draw attention? That's the question.
Look, I think they should have gone after Tay Adams. I think it was perfect too, because particularly they have so much time with Jaden Daniels. It's like you don't need to worry about cap space necessarily. You could have gone in, gotten him for 2 years. By the time his contract's up, and by the time he's probably not going to be as good, that's around the time where you'll pay Jaden Daniels because you
What
have
are
him
they
in
saying?
2 years.
When they saying Tay Adams was cool with Jaden Daniels or something like that? Wasn't that going around?
Yeah, I just think, dude, I don't know what it is. It always seems like the Commanders, going back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it's like whenever they sign a plethora of free agents, it's just like, or they go out and make moves, it's just like the weird moves. Like, I'm not saying that this is like Albert Hainsworth bad, but like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting is like, you're just kind of throwing shit and trying to make it stick. I think that what the thing with Tunsil is it's like an expiring, I'm pretty sure that his contract's expiring after this season or the next. So it's like somebody that you can buy low on with the hope that he can kind of get back to his form from the year before last year where he was really good. Does it necessarily make sense? I'm not sure. And the one thing I'll say though is if we're talking about evading pressure, we all know that Jaden Daniels is way better than CJ. Not way better, but Jaden Daniels
Nah, it's okay to say way better. It's okay to
literally
say way better.
he,
I
He's
he,
way
like
he,
way
better.
better,
he is a,
Mike.
he
I
is a
like way better
gener-
too. I like way
he
better
is
too.
he is a just because he's a generational talent at it. So if anyone can make that work, it'll be him. You know what I mean?
I just feel like if I don't know why, like what was the lack of getting Tay Adams? Maybe it was the weather. Maybe he
I
don't
think
want to
they're
be
going.
in
No, bro.
I think they're
You know,
Baltimore.
I
going.
think would have been perfect for Washington's offense, bro. I think they would have been perfect for spacing that offense out. I think
Even
Cooper
I would
Cup
have
would have been
loved if
perfect
Tay
for
went to
Washington, bro.
Baltimore. That would have been a game changer.
I think
Yeah,
I think that the Commanders. I think they're gonna buy into getting a receiver. I think the
In the
number
draft.
one guy. Yeah, I think they're either gonna get Luther Burden or Emeka Ibuka because I thought that Emeka Ibuka or Luther Burden would go to the Steelers, but I think that that's not happening anymore because they just got DK. So there's no point to draft another receiver. There's just an overload at one position, too much. But I think that they're going to go buy in on getting one of those guys, and I think I think Emeka Ibuka particularly would be very good with them because Luther Burden's going to have to play in the slot to be the best, and I don't think that like Debo can't play outside, so you're going to have to put Luther Burden down there. Like it doesn't necessarily make sense on that perspective, and I think that Ibuka's kind of in that range where he's going to go either at the beginning of the second round or late first round. The max I could see him going is within the mid first round, but
I
that
like. Yeah,
might not
I
happen
think
either.
them getting that's the perfect type of receiver for them. They need a good route runner who's short-handed. That's all Jaden Daniels needs. My biggest problem is like even, but I guess he wanted because a lot of teams wanted him, but he just wanted so much money, and I guess Seattle was dumb enough to pay him it because even if the Commanders would have got Cooper Cup, Cooper Cup would have been a perfect receiver for Jaden Daniels.
Right? Yeah.
facts. Short-handed, short route runner can get open in space, bro. Short space, like he would have ate, bro. He would have ate.
I
Terry
just don't
Craig
want
could
to
have ate
like.
over the top.
I think this is our problem. What happens and GMs do all the time. They get a guy who has a great year, and then sometimes they'll even go the way they did with C.J. Stroud, where they say, you know what, we're going to get Diggs, and you got Tank, and then you got Nico. But then some guys with the Cam Newton treatment was like, oh, he did so good that we can really put anybody over there. He gonna be all right. Debo, good yak guy. Maybe if he can get in the ball in short stints, but then Debo don't stay healthy no more. And then Debo's not short-handed, even with slant routes. Like you can't guarantee Debo can catch a slant route. And one thing I can say about the Commanders receivers last year that they were all short-handed, dog. Like and Jaden Daniels, he's that guy that will get you the ball in the perfect spot on like 39, and you got to catch that. And there are going to be some plays where he do that with Debo, and Debo don't catch that ball. I promise you that.
Yeah, I think they also looking at their signings, they essentially just wanted to add depth on the defensive side. Like
It seems like they went and
they
got
got
Wagner back, but they got rid of Jonathan Allen though.
they
So
got Javon Kinlaw, who was pretty good. I won't say he's like this is what I'm saying.
I
His
like
depth,
Javon
solid depth,
Kinlaw
though.
10 times more than Allen in that
what?
system.
Oh, in that
Bruh,
system, okay.
Allen and Payne was not pairing well together last year, bruh. It was reports coming out when they was on the field, they was not producing like they should have.
But they've been
But
together
when they
for a
was
long time
playing,
now.
exactly, bro. I think them separating was the best thing. And I like Kinlaw paired with Payne a lot more. You got two big guys who can get after the quarterback and are very fast, bro. That's scary.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think not that Jonathan Allen isn't like a run stopper, but I feel like he's a little bit more of a pass rusher, and I think Kinlaw is just kind of someone who's going to play one tech. I'm pretty sure, and just come in and just be a body. I think they wanted that, but yeah, I just think it looks they just went depth. They got Jonathan Jones from the Patriots, who's not great, but he's solid. I think they just wanted to shore up that defensive side a little bit more.
Do we have Aaron Rodgers going anywhere? And now that he's gone, who do we have the Jets picking up at do we think the Jets go draft a quarterback, or do they try to get somebody, maybe a Kirk Cousins? What are we thinking?
Well, I know for damn sure that the Jets aren't having him because they signed Justin Fields, which we can talk about in a second. But no, I don't. I just don't. I love Aaron. You know, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. I think he's one of the best ever. But at this point, it's just he's not playing well enough to deal with the off the field stuff. And it's not just the off the field stuff. It's also the idea that he's not going to be necessarily the leader that you want out of a veteran quarterback. He's not going to scream at guys. He's not going to call guys out. He's going to do his thing, and, that's about it. And I think based off of the play that I just don't think that he's good enough to deal with with the rest of it. I think teams are just kind of done with dealing with him.
So, Mike, have we seen the last of Aaron Rodgers? Hefe, what you think too?
I don't think so, because I just don't think so, because I feel like if we did see the last of it, he would have retired by this point. Like, it seems a little too. It seems
No,
like
I mean his choice, because he ain't got to retire. But will anybody pick him up?
I'm gonna say yeah, bro. I'm gonna say yeah, because this is my question. Like, and this is what I think about when I think about, is he going anywhere? Where will he go? Where would he go and it work out?
the only viable spot I could see is Pittsburgh, genuinely, because I think if they do get Jackson Dart, I don't think that you want to start Jackson Dart this year.
I can agree with that.
I think you'd want to bench him a season, get him to understand the game a little bit more.
Yeah, let him sit behind a vet who trains well. Yeah,
yeah, and like I think Aaron, as much as kind of a diva he is, I do think that he would definitely mentor a quarterback. He did it with Jordan Love to an extent. And that was when he was really still pretty good. And like,
do you think Mike Tomlin deals with him though?
Yeah, that's the one thing where it's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's willing to deal with that.
Because maybe he gets in line because there's so many vets on Pittsburgh. So like, you almost have to, because I think we don't understand how low key it wasn't no real voiceful guys for the Jets. Although they had guys like C.J. Mosley, they had guys like C.J. Mosley and things of that nature. Wasn't a lot of guys who were vocal. With the Pittsburgh, I do see guys getting on his ass. Like, you can't come in there bullshitting with a TJ Watt, with a Cam Hayward. Yeah. Shit, even a young Joey Porter gonna be like, hey man, what the fuck are we? Micah Parsons. Micah Fitzpatrick. They're gonna probably be on his ass, but that's some reason why I think Aaron Rodgers wouldn't go, because he don't want to have to do. It was cool because a lot of the Jets guys were younger, so he can kind of do his own thing. Wouldn't nobody gonna put him aside and say, hey man, Aaron, what the fuck are you doing? Pittsburgh, they will, including Mike Tomlin. So I don't think he'd go there because he don't want nobody going on him.
Yeah, but you say then it's like, I mean, they do have some crash outs on their team, so it's like maybe Tomlin's okay with dealing with a personality like Aaron Rodgers. It's weird, and to me, it's like, I think this team they like veteran quarterbacks. I mean, actually, I don't know if they do, because I mean, they drafted Kenny Pickett.
If I'm Pittsburgh, I get Kirk Cousins.
I don't see any other team. Yeah, I think. Well, that's also the thing, is like, these quarterbacks are going to be asking for more money than a lot of teams are going to want. Like Aaron, like, most likely, because it's a quarterback-driven league, he's going to be asking for a solid amount of money. Same with Kirk Cousins. So I feel like that's why these guys haven't signed.
I think Kirk still got Kirk getting a lot of his money from that. I think he does what Russell Wilson does. Kirk getting paid a lot of money. They basically they pay him, let him go. So I believe that they're going to be just fine. I think he don't really need that much money. Only thing I'm worried about with Kurt is I think he's traumatized and he don't go nowhere, because I think Pittsburgh going to drive a young quarterback. I think Kirk don't go nowhere where a quarterback will get drafted at. He not doing that. He know Pittsburgh will drive a quarterback.
He just done with that. He ain't like that last year. Yeah.
If I'm Kurt, I'm traumatized, nigga. I ain't even take to finish the season, and I was doing good, low key. Like, Kurt was having a decent season. He dog. If you let Kirk dog, it wasn't like Kirk Cousins was having a fucking what's my man name? Anthony Richard year or a Will Levis year. So if I'm Kurt, I ain't going nowhere near a team they got a backup quarterback, like a young quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
Because Dart's exciting. He one of them guys that if Kurt playing bad, Dart is one of them exciting Tony Romo type guys who deep balls and he's fun. The hair is flowing. They're going to be calling for him.
He can put that in a tight window. He can put the ball in a tight window, bro.
I told you, motherfuckers, beginning of the season. A lot of guys wasn't speaking on my man Jackson Dart. But then you look at Mel Kiper and them, they got him as the third or fourth best quarterback come out of the draft. I'm trying to tell y'all about it. I was the first one to say it.
See. Mel Kiper.
I've been on Jackson Dart.
I'm not saying that I think Jackson Dart sucks or anything like that. I just think that
Will Howard looks terrible.
What would you say?
Will Howard looked terrible though.
Yeah, I just think Will Howard, he doesn't have enough traits to play at the NFL to be a really good NFL quarterback. He just doesn't.
I think the same thing with Gabriel. I think Gabriel is the same way.
He might can get developed.
Yeah, I don't think
some guys need to be developed.
I think like I don't think Gabriel's combine was good either. I think he had a pretty bad combine. I think if you watched his throws, they weren't good at all. Like they weren't like and obviously he doesn't have the best arm or anything like that. But yeah, I don't think Dylan Gabriel's gonna be good. I don't think
He's
I
a
ever
mid
said he was gonna
quarterback.
be great.
He ain't even mid. He's like below mid. What do we think about the combine? Like who impressed you in the combine?
Jahad Campbell.
Who's that?
Jahad Campbell, middle linebacker for Alabama. He put up a combine similar to Trent Simpson last year.
Yeah, I don't. What'd you say?
Jahad Campbell, nice man.
Go ahead, Michael. Who you like?
Wait, give me a second. It was a minute ago. You say who you like first.
I like the who does Campbell play for?
Alabama.
Who was the guy? Was he from Texas? What's the guy that ran the 4? He ran the crazy 40 at D line.
As a which player or which position? Which position?
Who ran the crazy 40? Yeah, but he was D line.
Oh, D line. Oh shoot, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I'm trying to see. He ran a crazy 40. Let me see. So you had Kane Midrow from UCLA, but that ain't the guy. It was John Campbell did run a crazy 40. He ran a 4.52. Damn.
Yeah, 6'3", 6'4", 230, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Defensive. It says Amari Barno ran a. Oh wait, no, that was 2022. The hell. Did not give me the fucking.
Hey, Abdul Carter was nice too, bro.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Abdul Carter didn't like surprise me though. Like I thought Abdul Carter would show out in the combine.
There he is. That's who I was talking about. The nigga Jared Wilson ran a. I like Jared Wilson. The center for Georgia. Who else did I like? I like the center for Georgia. I although his 40 doesn't matter, I like what he did. I do like Will Campbell. Here's a corner too I really like that ran a crazy 40 time, but I liked him anyway. Let me see, cornerback 40 times, 2025.
Hey, Walker had a good combine too.
Walker plays for who? Walker with
Georgia.
I think Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He was nice with it. I like Shamar Stewart too. Shamar is nice, especially the fact that he's 270. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I think he could be really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Matthew Golden too. I already knew Matthew Golden was nice.
Malachi Stark, the safety out of Georgia too.
Oh yeah. I think Malachi Stark's gonna be good too. I really like him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind grabbing him if we don't get Campbell.
And then I think Terrence. I think this is someone from UO that kind of, due to the fact that we had so many weapons on offense, didn't get as much run as I thought he could get. But Terrence Ferguson, the tight end, he's very athletic. He's very quick. He showed that in the combine, and he's 6'5", 250. He's essentially 6'6", 250. So that's a big body that I feel like can be.
What are you running the 40, Mike?
4'6".
Ooh, ain't bad.
That's a nice so he's gonna be good. But yeah, and then what was the? Oh yeah. I wanted to say a loser because this shit hurt my heart, bro. Tez Johnson running a 4.65?
No, bro. No, bro. Listen. I understand, bro. But his performance on the field is great, bro. It's not to be questioned. Like I get it. Everybody been cooking him, bro, because he was supposed to be faster than that. But his performance.
But you know what? Yeah, you know what? No, you can't go off that because so many guys have run slow 40s but had great fucking careers. So, especially like, here's the thing though. Ted Johnson played what position again?
He was receiver.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you know how many receivers I can name that had bad 40s that were greats? Jerry Rice, Anquan Bolden. Like, there have been
Right,
so
right,
many guys who had, we thought Michael Crabtree should be faster. Like, there are so many guys who had bad 40s. Like, 40s don't really, listen, they don't translate as much as you think they do. Because even a guy like John Worthy, as fast as Worthy is, man, that nigga had to figure it out all season. So, like, just because you fast at
right.
receiver don't mean shit,
I agree.
honestly. I wanted to have
I
this conversation, though, because we talked about guys last year about who was the guys and this and that. So I seen a study where it said the top 15 quarters who gave up the most yards last year. Y'all want to go through the list?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
All right. So at number 15, who had the 15 most yards, your man Ron Darby. I think he plays for Jacksonville last year. Gave up
He's toast, bro.
645 yards. He's
He's
15th worst.
he's
Oh,
he's he's
God.
he's he's done, bro. He's old. He's just not. He's not good anymore.
Okay. At 14. Your man Jones that played for the Colts. So I see why they went and picked up your man Slay, because they need that. He gave up 655 yards.
And they got Cheeto
Um
Ward.
yeah. Surprisingly, DeAndre Banks, I thought he had a great season, but he was
I'm
13th,
trying to tell y'all,
655
bro.
yards.
Trying to tell y'all, homie's mid.
Yeah, DeAndre Banks gave up a lot of yards last year,
Mid.
man. He was kind of getting
He
cooked.
still could be good. He's young, but he's mid. At this point, he's mid.
Then we all know
I'm gonna go ahead.
Stenzel, the one that played for the Commanders.
Yeah. But he was
600
okay in the playoffs. He kind of turned on.
676 yards
That's
he allowed
was he
last
like
year.
a second corner or third corner? Like he's not
I
even.
think he's
a
like the
number.
third corner. That's a lot,
Yeah,
though, for a third corner.
that is
Y'all,
brutal.
I can't wait till we get all the guys back on here because I'm going to redo this list. Emerson, y'all, they love Emerson. Emerson gave up 682 yards last year. He's number 11. At number 10, St. Juice, 686 yards. So
Yeah, but
that's two
he
Commanders
been getting
corners.
cooked. He been getting
That's
cooked
two
though.
Commanders corners that was getting cooked last year. Okay. Then
Mm.
you got Jones that plays for then you got Jones that plays for the Raiders, but we know the Raiders corners were trash last year.
Oh my god.
Jones gave up 600 and let me see 696 yards last year. He was number 9. At number 10, one of the guys that we talked about bad, 721 yards. Taylor Britt was number 8 last year as far as yards given up.
Not shot.
Corwin Sutton stunned him.
Oh
He
my
stunned
God, he
him.
was awful last year. Denzel Ward, another guy that we talk highly about. I wish
That's
Brandon was
crazy.
here. 724 yards he allowed last year. He was
Yeah,
getting cooked.
Dang, bro.
that's crazy. But what I
And
will
then
say is like when
your
you're
boy
offensive
Moss
line,
on the other side of that played for the Broncos gave up 725 yards.
I would say at
That's
least
crazy.
20% of those yards were given to
You
T.
want to know what's crazier, Hefe? At number 5, McCullen gave up 730 yards.
That's crazy.
Bro,
That nigga was
That's
getting
crazy.
cooked last year. He's number 5. You love
But
McCullen. That nigga was getting cooked.
look, bro. But in the beginning of the year, he was striving, bro. That was a lot because we couldn't get pressure.
At
Like y'all seen
number
our
4
defense. Our
was
defense.
our guy. We'll go to back to at number 4. I got Dante Jackson that played for the Panthers. He was getting his ass barbecued out there. At number 3 was Murphy on the other side of Gilmore last year. Gave up 792 yards, the third most yards given up last year. Whew. At number 2, the nigga that we all talked about, I wish Ebdal was here. Stevens gave up 858 yards last year.
Bro, that's
DJ Stevens for the Ravens was
Bro, and
getting
half of those
barbecued.
were at the beginning. That was mostly the beginning of the year because he stopped playing as much at the end.
And
If he
last but
would have
not
played
least,
more, it
I
would have been.
wish he was here.
what?
Giving up almost 1,000 yards. Your man Taylor for the Saints. I wish Mo was here. He
My
gave up
God.
the
No, you
most
don't, bro.
yards.
No, you
He
don't.
gave up like nigga gave up a Pro Bowl season worth of yards last year. 956 yards off one receiver, dog.
Hey, the Saints made some solid moves though,
Who you like? Who you like?
bro. They went and got Justin Reed and Godwin from the Patriots. Two
I do
good
like
pickups
Justin
for
Reed.
their scheme. For their scheme.
Wait, you talking about Justice Reed from the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes, sir.
That's gonna be hard on them because he was a hitter last year and he was actually breaking coverage last year. So that's gonna be a
Yeah.
motherfucker for them last year. that going to next year.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
that's and then
Yeah,
with
I
this
didn't think he was that good in
situation.
the playoffs, but I mean, it's fair enough. He
I
was
mean,
good
he
in the
was
regular
solid.
season.
He was
He was
solid.
all right. He was all right. He was all right. He was all
I
right.
believe that a lot of that had to do too with their pass rush. I didn't like what I saw out of your boy in the playoffs. Honestly, I didn't like what I saw
Grit
out of
Jones.
yeah, I didn't like what I saw out of him last year.
Yeah, he didn't really
And
do
I
a
have
lot.
no idea why what's name coming back because he's trash. Like he needs to
Who?
hang it up. Travis Kelsey, dog. Like, you come back for what?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, what are you doing, bro? You were
Bro, he
awful last.
looked terrible in the Super Bowl, bro.
He's trying to,
I
bro.
don't care
He's
about a single other game, bro.
It
To
was
show
listen
up in the Super Bowl
by
look that
himself.
bad,
Cooper DeJean sunned him by himself. Like they literally said, "Hey, Coop,
bro.
your assignment is fucking probably the greatest time to play football." And Coop said, "Copy," and literally commenced to
Facts,
strangle that boy the entire game. That shit was
facts.
embarrassing.
I don't see
Like
them.
what?
I don't see them. I don't see them going back this year, bro. I don't. I don't.
That's why I think
I
Cooper
don't.
DeJean might be, bro. He. I don't know if he'll get to top 10, but he's gonna be within that realm next
But
year,
here's
bro.
my only problem with that though, Mike. I don't know about them guys who play slot because it's easy to you in that slot, you comfortable in that slot. Are you going to be a great outside
Yeah.
guy? Because now getting rid of Darius Slade, what you're basically saying is that you are putting your trust in. Well, no, you know what? They still got Rodgers, who's actually damn good too. They don't talk about enough. So they might be able to go Mitchell Rodgers and then Cooper DeJean can still play the slot. But I ain't gonna lie, what the Eagles are doing, that shit might be that actually need to be studied because I think in the future a lot of teams are gonna do what they did. Getting that. Getting three good corners who can really strap down, that shit, dog, especially in this passing league now, that was a game changer Super Bowl, dog. They literally had shit on lock in the Super Bowl. Like, that was a complete game changer, dog. You couldn't do nothing with them the entire season.
Yep. Yep. It reminds me of the Seahawks defense a little bit.
Yeah, like it was bad. Like they were amazing last year. It almost reminds me of that. It reminds me of that Broncos defense that had,
No
you know,
fly
you
zone.
had Akeem, Chris, and then you had Darby, who was great at
That
at,
was
at
when Darby
number.
was good, actually.
Oh man, what?
That was when
Like,
Darby
and
was
then the following year, you know,
good.
you get rid of Keem and you go Chris Johnson and him. I mean, Chris Harris and him, and he was amazing. So like, it kind of reminds me of that. But that's a good like what they built. They built something good over there. They got rid of a lot of guys though, man. I think there's going to be. I don't know, man. A lot of guys are gone, man.
I just think
You
with
lose.
DeJean, I think he's just athletically gifted enough to take a step up. Like I could see why because it's like, he plays slot and he's not going up against the guest guys, but I do feel like that he can play outside just
But
because of
even
his
with that,
strength,
he's
his
so
size, and
great.
speed.
Even
Like
with that,
he's so good.
Cooper DeJean. First of all, he's way bigger than I thought he was. He's way more athletic than I
He's
thought
like
he was.
6'2", 6'1", 6'2", runs like a 4'4", like 4.35, something like that. Like
He gonna have to show up this year though, fellas.
Yeah, but
He
what's
gonna
so
have to
great
show up
about that?
this year.
Most definitely. What's so great about that, though, honestly, is that Cooper G is one of them guys that you know how much of a luxury it is to have a guy where you can say, okay, we played George Kittle this week. Cooper, you ain't got to worry about, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and put safety over the top. No. Cooper, go stalk George Kittle. Go stalk Brock Bowers. Go stalk, you know what I'm saying, that tight end that you like. Go stalk him, and you deal with him all game and then bottle him up. Because Cooper gonna press, he's strong, he athletic. He's a he. I know we always
he's a
be funny, but
problem.
goddamn man, you forget he's a white guy sometimes, man. He's a problem.
He's a
Oh, for
problem.
sure, bro. For sure.
He's a straight
Like
up
it was a
problem.
time growing up where you never saw a white corner, you never saw a white running back for real, for real. Like there was a time.
Mm-mm,
Now,
mm-mm.
that's not the case no more. So I do like.
Shout out Hefe's boy, Mike Allstott.
Oh yeah,
That was one.
but
That was maybe the one guy at that point.
that's what I'm saying. Like up in like a John Riggins in the '70s, but my thing is
Yeah, I
like.
was about to say him and John Riggins, bro. Him and
But
John and
guys
Peyton
like here's the
Hillis.
thing though, guys like that, you look for Payne had 1 year. And but guys like that, they were like banger backs, like, okay, I get him in the red zone. But when you look at guys like Chris McCaffrey, who's like a white Marshall Falk,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't see a white back be like, other than like I said, John Riggins, be like one of the best backs in
No,
the league. And
no.
Cooper DeJean could easily be like, if they put him at that second position and he does what he did this year, or he does what Trent McDuffie was doing, dog, he can be he can be the best. He can be one of the best. They can have one of the best corner times in the game, dog. And I
Yep.
actually think Cooper DeJean has more upside than Mitchell as far as what he's gifted with.
Yeah. I can see that too. Yeah.
Like Mitchell, one of them guys who like he's just all out lockdown. You ain't getting nothing over here. Cooper DeJean is one of them guys that like he gonna get picks, fumbles, he gonna get strips, all that stuff. Like so, I like Cooper DeJean, man. I do like him. I keep Darius Slay if I'm them. I don't touch it. I try to go back to back. I don't touch it. Because what did you get rid of Gardner for to go get the other guy? Go get the guy from Texans. Like I don't. Yeah. After the day was freed up space.
We did that same thing, bro. When we won the Super Bowl, we brought everybody back, bro. We brought everybody back, and it's not that it didn't work, bro. It was just it was the same.
I mean, the truth is, you know, your man just kind of folded the next year. Like Tom Brady just wasn't the same next year. Y'all tried to ride Tom Brady.
That was his third year. I'm talking about our second year. Our second year, we lost to the Rams in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and I think like we guys got injured, yeah, cool, whatever, but that's a part of the game. I think if we go out and get new talent or different talent to implicate any wrinkle whatsoever, I think it works, and that's what I like about what Philly did. They got new guys to implement any wrinkle they could.
Are they still the favorite for next year?
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, talk to me. Who's the favorite?
Bruh, Washington can get a lot better.
What?
Rams, listen, bro, listen. Washington can get a lot better. Rams just got a lot better. Let me see who else. I like us. Of course, that's biased, whatever. I like a few people, bro, and I still like San Fran. San Fran is just a few pieces away from being San Fran again.
Nah, but they're rebuilding though. They got rid of
they are. They definitely are. They have to. They have to.
A lot.
But like the pieces they got to rebuild, or I think they could pick up in this year's draft.
Yeah, but they got to rebuild that defense a lot though. Like they still have Fred Warner, but they lost a lot of guys on defense.
They just lost that safety. They just lost Kinlaw.
But I think that's better. A few people. I think that's better.
Kinlaw and Greenlaw.
Rebuilding at this point is better for them. Generally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if they can hit on this year's draft with all the defensive depth in this draft, I think they can make something out of it.
I just think even with the stuff that they've lost, I think that the Eagles are in a position to supplement what they've lost with other players. And like their offense is still very good. They didn't lose anyone on the offensive side of the ball. They didn't lose any offensive linemen. They basically just lost rotation.
Mekhi Becton yet. That's the only one, Mike.
Mekhi Becton was literally the fucking worst one. You know what I'm saying? So like, they can effectively draft a guard in like the second or third round and have him be good with that.
Exactly.
Though they also traded for some lineman that was like terrible last year, right? Trying to see if I forgot his name, but they traded for some lineman that was bad.
Yeah, I think they got him from the Texans. He's the
who we talking about?
Or starter for Mekhi Becton.
I don't know his name, but we
talking about the Commanders?
No, the Eagles traded for some Texans lineman.
Oh yeah, they did. They traded for the Texans. Bad. They traded for who was the guy they traded for CJ Gardner? Was he he was a safety too, right?
They traded oh no. Oh yeah, Kenyon Green. Yeah, Kenyon Green. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was freaking trash. I don't understand that, but
I don't understand what the fuck. I don't get it, man.
Maybe Stoutland.
I think a lot of it comes down to scheme, bro. I think a lot of it comes down to scheme.
Like also,
I mean, they just freeing up money right now.
I think too, it's like the Commanders and the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles are a lot like way bigger on this specifically, but that offensive line coach in Philly, Stoutland, like he does a good job, and like he made Mekhi Becton play, or he kind of helped Mekhi Becton revitalize his career a little bit. And I think the same thing when I look at the Commanders, look at a guy like Tyler Biadasz, who played his best football last year and was a very solid offensive lineman. That dude was not good in Dallas. He was bad in Dallas. Like he was average at best in Dallas, and then he transitions into a solid center. Like that could be this type of thing, is the offensive line coaches getting a hold of these guys and helping them retain some of that form. For a buy low, sell high type of situation.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think also it's like with the Commanders specifically, I think, we all thought they were going to go in there and make crazy moves, but I think from their mindset, they're not trying to rush it. I feel like when it comes to this free agency specifically, there wasn't a ton of just, oh my God, you got to sign that guy. Like there just wasn't. So I feel like they don't want to put all their chips out on the table right now when they're thinking maybe next year or the year after they can get better players.
Yeah.
Which I can understand to an extent because like you literally already made the NFC Championship game. I don't know. Like I think that this might be a type of thing where I'm not saying like I feel like they might have gotten a little lucky this year, and I don't know if they can come in next year and expect to do the same thing again. Although Jaden Daniels is still that guy, like I just think the surrounding pieces, like they could have lost, especially against the Bucs. And if Jared Goff doesn't sell that game, they could have lost in that game too. So it's that back and forth thing where they could have gone all in, maybe could have been better, or they're just as good this year. We'll see.
Well, I hope so, man. It's a lot of bullshit.
If I'm the Commanders and I look over at Chicago and I see that the asset that they just acquired last year got all this protection, I'm definitely invested in that. Like Washington's guy just went to the championship with Scary Terry and Dimey Brown. Like that says a lot, bro. That says a lot. If you get that guy some protection, they probably win the championship game, bro. Probably. I'm not saying they do. Probably.
They have that chance.
But it could quite possibly be a different game if you protect that guy. And I'm not saying this all O-line is trash. I'm saying it could be better. And with it being better, he can perform better.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I ain't mad at you. I was thinking what you put down. Man, I just think that, man, I think it's a lot. We're really waiting for this draft, man. This draft, like Happy said, is going to really blow the doors off what's going on and what guys we're planning. Because if I don't like, I'm gonna keep saying it. If you need a running back and you get the first pick at a running back, not saying the first pick in general, but you need a running back. The first team needs a running back that gets the first chance to get a running back. If you get Genty and not Amari Hampton, it's going to be one of the worst decisions you ever made. I keep telling people that I trust Amari Hampton to be a every down, like he's going to be a legendary back. I don't know about Genty, man. I've seen it with Michael
Kid from
James.
Carolina, right?
Yeah, I've seen it with Michael James. I've seen these fast guys and zip. Dog, it do not translate like that, and he didn't play against good enough talent, and it showed me enough in the play. And when they got deep in the playoffs in college football, when he started playing against legit teams, man, it was a holding ball game. Meanwhile, Scatterbo was out there still getting busy.
Okay, wait. Before we start that, I will agree that is Genty as highly touted as the main draft guys are saying. I don't know. Okay, and I also have
Mike. If you have quarterbacks off the board, corners off the board. Cowboys have the number. What pick the Cowboys got?
It's like a 10 or 11. No, I don't want to.
Number 10. No running backs off the board, and y'all need a running back. Who you getting?
I'm not getting Genty at 10. That's what I'm telling you. I agree with you there because this is my problem. If you're going to draft a running back that high, you need a plan, or you need an offensive line that's good, or you need a plan to create an offensive line within a year or two. This can't be a thing where you have a trash offensive line and then you get a running back in the first round. That's not solving anything.
That's just what the Giants went through, bro.
Yeah, unless you're and literally, and then
Tracy actually had a damn good season before he had to go through.
No, he's talking about Saquon. But like,
you're right.
But Saquon produced. But it didn't.
He was just that good, and I think Amari Hampton, Saquon good.
Those are like very, very, very small chances. Those are very, very small amounts of running backs that actually produce 1,000-yard seasons or 1,000 scrimmage yard seasons on bad offensive lines. It doesn't usually happen. The last time we did it was when we got Zeke, but we had one of the best offensive lines ever. So that's why they decided to do that, because they knew that getting a running back like that is going to make their offense ridiculous. That's the only time where I can see it make sense. But when you're talking about him as a prospect, I still think that he's special. I think with Scatterbo in particular, yes, Scatterbo was cooking, But it was like, if you watch that game, he was kind of getting stuffed in this first half. But once that defense really, really wear down, they started getting him
But
holes.
that's the type of back
And
he
he was
is. He's
great
one of them
pass
backs
catchers.
that he'll wear you down or
Yeah,
as
he
the game
beat
go
you
on.
up. Yeah, he beat you
But
up. He
And
but
he's
beat
a
I
you
think
great
up.
pass catcher out the backfield, which makes him more
Yeah.
like it
but
makes him more of a threat because now I'm not worried about just pounding him. Like Peyton Hillis was a pounding guy. You couldn't
yeah,
do
Yeah.
like I think Scotty is what Peyton Hillis is, but I think he can sustain it. I think Scotty one
no,
of them guys gonna beat you up throughout the game, and then on top of that, he can catch come past the backfield. And I don't trust no corner on him in the backfield. Like that's a problem.
Bro,
I
if you
think I
put
get to
him
your point.
somewhere with an elusive back, bro,
I
it's
don't
gonna
think
be
he's
a vicious combo.
I don't think he's athletically gifted as Hillis though. Like Hillis was a freaking demon. Like he looked like a Greek god, and he was really fast. So I think I still like Scotto, but I don't think he's at that. But I think with GT in particular,
Who you like him with? If you put, let's do this. Let's put Scatterbo with Devon A. Chainer in Miami.
yeah, that would be good. But like it also depends on the system
Nah, I got one
because
better than that, bro. I got one better than that.
but I don't
Go
If he
ahead.
think
go out Detroit and replace Montgomery, bro.
No. Fuck no. No. Fuck no.
no.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck
Look,
no.
Bro,
I
I'm
think
telling you, with that
They
power
solid. They would
and
never do that. He's good. He's just fine.
with
I,
that power and speed, you would punish teams, bro.
like
You would
I
but
think
punish
they
teams.
but Montgomery's already that right now. I'm talking about name a team who got one running back who's elusive who could probably use that. I think
so
he like that's what I'm saying.
I think Miami, it could work in theory, but they don't run enough single back and they don't use the I formation for me to make sense. If they're running shotgun in the way that they do, I don't think that it would. I just don't think it would fit. I think a team like I'm trying to let's see would be a
The
good
Chargers
team.
got rid of both their running backs, Gus and what's his name. I like him over there. Maybe in San Diego.
But they just picked up Najee, didn't they? Didn't they pick up Najee?
Najee's awful.
I
Well, you're
mean,
right. You
They,
I
don't need
ain't
him
say he
there.
was good.
There's two slow backs. You don't need him there. You don't need him over there. Then
Yeah.
I think like yeah.
give me somebody else, Mike. Who else you think?
I'm trying to think who has a
I'm thinking
burner.
the
What
Bills,
teams
but the
have
Bills also
burners?
run a lot of shotgun too. Him and Dalvin Cook will
The
eat.
Bills already have Ray Davis, who I think that they're going to use in that role.
Yeah.
But you think
They
he's a
were good.
power back?
Honestly, the Jets have Braylon Allen though, which Braylon
They don't
Allen
need him. They
plays
don't
really
need him.
good.
Miami, I say
Uh,
Miami. We go through teams. Vikings don't. Ooh, Vikings could use. No.
no,
Yeah, him and
Vikings
Aaron
good.
Jones
No,
would be
I
nice,
would,
bro.
I would, I would, I would like that
Him and
because
Josh Jacobs would be nice too.
I think Aaron Jones is still a good back, but I think the more that he gets older, the less he's good with in between the tackles. I think that
Could the
he needs
Bears
something
use
where he
them with
gets out
Swift?
of it. I don't think Swift is that good, honestly. I don't.
Didn't the Bears just pick somebody up? The Bears
I
just
don't
picked up another running back too.
like. I think Swift is not good.
Commanders, Giants. I guess the Giants can use them over there with Tracy. Who else? Eagles don't need
The Cowboys.
They could. I mean, yeah,
We
they could
don't.
use them.
Yeah, I mean, we have Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders who are just
I
so good.
hate both of them. They're terrible. Who else we got? Atlanta, no, they already got their guy with Algier. Carolina don't need him now. Who else? Do the Tampa don't need him? The Saints could probably use him over there by Alvin Kamara. To back Alvin Kamara up. I think he'd
Oh, I
actually be
like
Nah,
that.
Miller plays that role for them, bro.
okay.
Keandre Miller, I think he's
Okay, so
solid.
then let's go San Fran. Do we think San Fran could use him?
Yeah. But with their whole sled of backs, they could still use them. I
Rams
don't
could
There's
think they have
definitely
a back built like
Rams
him.
could definitely use him.
Yeah, that's
Rams would
actually where I
work,
like to see him go.
but like they have Blake Corum, so it wouldn't make sense for them to draft him either.
Okay, what else? Because he could probably go higher than you want. Who else
I
is
don't
over
think
there?
Cam's gonna go
Rams.
high. I don't think
Who else is over
because
there?
he couldn't go to the combine. I think that's gonna. I think he's gonna be a
Seattle
first round
don't
pick
need
Yo,
him.
max.
what about him and Pacheco, bro?
They're the same coach, the same back. I actually think I don't like Pacheco no more. I actually think if the Chiefs got him as their number one back, he could be a problem. And pair him with Hunt, he could be a problem.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Browns could use him too, because I don't know we
My
looking
thing
at
is
a
like,
Chubb.
Nick
okay,
Chubb.
here's my thing about like the Scatterbows and the Ollie
Steelers could definitely
Gordon.
use him. I would take
Okay,
him. He's
this is
that. Everything about him says Steelers. Honestly,
but like this is the thing about backs like Scatterbo. Like when I think guys like Ollie Gordon, Like Amar and Hampton is different because he has that size speed number, but he's super fast and very quick. He's like an all-round back.
I like J.R. Gibbons too. J.R. Gibbons got moves. Like
But like,
he put Shador Sanders in a that's Shador Shiloh in a blender last year, dog.
oh
I
my
like
God,
J.R. Gibbons too.
Shiloh's never going to be play. He's never going to step on the NFL field though. Like that dude's not going to.
Yeah, he might not,
disagree,
bro.
bro. I disagree, bro.
He's not.
What he did in the Shrine Bowl, bro. What he did in the Shrine Bowl was impressive. Like, he got cooked all that week in practice. He did get cooked all that week in practice, but he did also perform. Bro.
Okay, my thing is like, he's a cornerback who's a cone, and he can hit. That's it. That's all.
No, but he's not a corner. He's a safety
or safety. Sorry, my fault.
He's a strong safety.
But he's that cornerback nickel.
But he's a cone. He's a cone. Like, he can't cover.
I don't know. I like him as strong safety, man. If you pair him, think about it. If you pair him with a guy who actually is a great safety as far as sideline, he could be a problem.
But I think if you're a NFL safety, even if you're playing strong safety in today's age, you have to cover relatively well, or you're not going. Or if you're a cone, like, you're screwed. Like, this isn't the 90s anymore where you can have guys like Rodney Harrison.
I think he can. This is who I think he can be. And this guy played hella seasons in the NFL. I think he can be Ryan Clark. I've been telling people that he could be Ryan Clark.
I don't know,
bro.
I don't
Clark
agree.
Was really good, because Clark was really good, bro.
Ryan Clark was a savage thumper, but he was very, very, very underrated on coverage in all parts of
coverage. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. And because he was always there. Like, he made the hits, but he was always there. He was
a guy coming out this year that a lot of people ain't talked about, but I would love to see the Commanders get him. Listen, Sean Taylor's little brother is a problem.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not going to lie.
He's 5'11", 6 foot. He's fast. He got great hands. He's a problem.
All I'm saying is, if you are within the bloodline of Sean Taylor, I'll take a pick on you, bro. Yeah, I'll gamble, bro. I'll gamble because
I think he played for Rice, but he had like 5 picks last year, man. He's a really good guy.
But one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is, like, I'm not against power backs at all. But the one thing that I like, this is the thing that I struggle with Ollie Gordon too. Like, when I watch Ollie Gordon, yes, he breaks tackles, and Cam Scadabo breaks tackles too. But it's about what you do in the open field. And to me, both of them are, like, questionable in the open field when it comes to the NFL. Like, especially Scadabo, but Ollie Gordon too. I feel like people think Ollie Gordon's faster than he is. Like, I feel like
I don't like. I watched Ollie Gordon last year. I don't like him.
His straight edge speed doesn't look good enough for me, and his agility doesn't look good enough for him to ever be like a very good back in the league. His size is good. His size is great, but it's like, if you're just breaking tackles if your number one thing is breaking tackles in college, it's an issue for me, because unless you're freaking just a Greek god level, like, I mean, Derrick Henry, Adrian Peterson were both super fast too. Like, that's another thing. But, like, if you're only breaking tackles when you get to the league and guys are more athletic and stronger, it's like that might become a problem. You know what I mean? So
facts, bro. Because AJ Dillon was fast, explosive, and powerful in college. Loved watching him in college, bro. When he got to the league, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, he was like a power back
in the mud, bro. Exactly. It was like he kept getting stuck in the mud. And that's what I'm saying, bro. I agree with you on that, bro.
And in a league where it's like, you know, it's not, offense isn't played like, okay, we want our runners to get 5 yards of carry. Now it's like, we want you to break it. Like that.
That's what separates somebody like Henry, because although you think Henry's slow, Henry can break it. Henry might give you 5 yards here, 8 yards here. They'll give you a 60 piece.
And same with, like,
not only that, but he'll wait. Henry is the type of back. You can literally go 4 downs. You'll tag him in the backfield twice. Then you break off 11 because he's patient and he waits for the guy.
Yeah,
and that's the problem with a lot of fast guys.
He just can't
fast
catch.
Guys try to rely on their speed to try to beat players to the gap instead of wait for it to open it up and read it. And they'll just try to hurry them, and they just run into. And people just say, "Oh man, they just running into the back of guys." No, they're not. They're using their speed and not their eyes, bro.
Right. So it's that nuance. Like, unless you're freaking Earl Campbell, unless you're that big and, like, you're still that, like, It's just
I
hard for
love
me
Earl
to.
Campbell, bro. Earl Campbell, one of my favorite running backs of all time.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Earl
'cause
Campbell,
he's
Earl
so
Campbell was
good.
super fast too. I think niggas understand
Yeah,
like
yeah,
as big as guys like Sweetness, like Walter Payton and were, they were fast as shit too.
right,
Eric Dickerson
right,
too. Eric Dickerson was a big guy and he was fast too.
right. That's what I mean. I mean, AP was probably
Eric was
the
like
best.
tall, but he was real fast.
Insane with like AP. Like AP was huge and
Niggas don't nigga
Bo
Jerome Bettis
Jackson
like
too.
top. Jerome Bettis still like top 5 to 7 in rushing yards. Like he was a fucking problem.
Yeah, yeah.
this man,
Yeah, he was.
dude. Jerome Bettis
Yeah,
is
he was.
is
Jerome one of them guys when you look at you be like, God damn, they got 50 yards.
not
Bro,
Jerome.
on everything I love, bro, Jerome Bettis was the nickname. Like, I got nicknamed the Buzz playing ball because of Jerome.
Bro, Jerome Bettis is the crazy. Like I
I can
remember
see
when
that.
I discovered who Jerome Bettis was, and I was like in awe of him because he was just so fat playing running back. I was like, damn, bro, this dude's a legend. But I think one more thing
That
is
was
like
a problem.
literally, dude, literally, I watched this NFL Life because I was like, bro, who is this guy, bro? And like he was okay on the Rams, but like people thought he was kind of like a bust or whatever. He had problems, then goes to the Steelers and just becomes a menace. It was a great
Bro,
arc.
all that happened is on the Rams, they didn't give him an offensive line. The Steelers, they gave him holes to run through. And he was able to match up one-on-one with guys.
And that's why I'm saying getting an offensive line is the biggest thing for running backs. We always talk about who the best running backs are in the league and stuff, right? But the offensive line matters a lot too. There's a reason why Saquon Barkley first what this is his first season he's had over what 15.
Yeah, tripping. Jerome Bettis' rookie year. Jerome Bettis' rookie year, he was 1429, 7 TDs on only 294 carries.
No, I forgot about that. But wasn't there was some sort of issues with him in the Rams. I don't know whether if it was him being a bust or he was just had some issues. I don't know what it was, but I remember watching that. But the thing
I think the bus never one of them guys that bangs you down over time too. Like you didn't want nothing to do with the bus. By fourth quarter, niggas would be bouncing off the bus, like because they didn't want nothing to do with him, dog.
Right, but like look at like Saquon Barkley this year. This is the first year he's had over what 1,600 rushing yards in his career, maybe 15. I don't know what the most he had in the Giants, but it wasn't a lot. Like
Mike,
that's why offensive line matters so much. Like
AJ Dillon playing with Saquon this year. It's going. I'm telling you, bro. They're going to feed.
It's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be annoying.
It's gonna be very annoying because when Saquon need a break, bro, you still dealing with the power of another guy. And then Saquon coming in and just run right by you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be annoying for.
I ain't gonna lie. Bro. If I was the Eagles, I'd have picked up Miles Sanders back. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, but don't they still got Gainwell? They still got Gainwell, right?
Look, Miles Sanders sucks now. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's not good. Like that's why
I mean the Eagles ran the wheels off him, though, Mike.
Oh, they did. I'm not disputing that. Like I'm just saying at this point, like it's just like AJ Dillon didn't have a.
He was never meant to be number one back, Mike.
What?
He wasn't. He wasn't.
Miles Sanders was never meant to be number one back. He ain't even big. Like, Miles Sanders was a little nigga for real.
But he's just not good anymore. Like he's lost his initial. Like he had a little bit of speed, a little bit of something like after the hole, but now it's just all gone. Like
he can't take
old, dude.
Yeah, he can't take the. He can't take the pounding. He can take the pounding.
And the one thing that I'll say, like the one thing I want to bring back to is when you guys talk about running backs that wear teams down. I do believe that there are running backs like Derrick Henry, running backs like AP, running backs like all of these guys that we've talked about, Nick Chubb, that wear down defenses. But I also believe that there is a big part of that is offensive coaching, play calling, sticking with the run when it may not be working as much. So that you can, you know what I mean? It's not just the running back itself. It's also using the run and not right, and not getting scared when you get 3 yards 2 times and then you just pass 5 plays in a row or whatever. Like you got to continue to keep doing that. That's why Ben Johnson is such a good coach because
Mike
he's
Shanahan.
not necessarily Mike Shanahan. Yeah, they don't stray away from the run unless usually they don't ever. So.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I look at guys like again, Mari Hampton. He reminds me he reminds me like prime Elgin James or prime Fred Taylor. He gonna be a problem, dog. He got everything you need out of him. Closing statements before we get out of here. Who are we most forward looking to? Who are we basically most looking forward to on their new teams?
Okay, I'll say this. I'll break this with Tay Adams, because I think Trent Show's also talked about this a lot. But when I watch the tape of Tay Adams, he is not close. He is not close to finished. People that are saying that he's finished,
He's still good. Yeah, he's still good.
He's not finished. He is not finished. Like, he is going to make that offense run really, really well. But the team that I am looking, actually, no, the player that I have my biggest eyes on now is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has to perform next year.
Yeah.
He has to at
if
least
your number 2 is on
most definitely.
Because now they've shored up the offensive line. I think the play calling is going to be where he will be in the best positions to succeed now, because they have a coach that knows how to use the pass game, but also knows how to use the run game. That's why Ben Johnson is such a good offensive coach. When you look at a lot of these offensive coaches, they don't use the run game enough. Like these gurus, like Kellen Moore was a good problem with Kellen Moore until he got Saquon Barkley, until we got that crazy offensive line. So I think Caleb Williams is the guy that I'm most looking forward to next year. Like, you've got to show who you are, or what, you know what I mean? Like, what's the point? So
who I'm looking forward to most next year, bro. And I just hope he can stay healthy. I want to see him have a healthy season on his team, and that's Joey Bosa, bro. Joey Bosa playing opposite of Greg Rousseau and beside Ed Oliver. I think that's gonna make the Bills defense crazy, bro. And I just want to see what that's like this year. I just hope he can stay healthy so we can see that defense actually defend their quarterback.
what about you, Earl? To close it off.
I'm looking forward to seeing. Honestly, man, I do like the Joey Bosa pick, but I'm looking forward to seeing. Um, Probably I'm trying to think who I can't wait to see. Um, You know what? Actually, I want to see how this Sam Donald thing play out. I actually hope it's a good story to where he can prove everybody wrong. I don't think so, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing it. And then wherever Jackson Dart go, I root for him all day, every day, man. I just can't wait for him to get drafted. I really hope he becomes what I want him to become, and I can't wait for y'all to see how bad Cam Ward really is and how good Shador really is. So, but yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this Seattle team. I want to see what he can do with him. If Cooper Cup can have a resurgence, Jackson could be that guy, and if Sam could do good with him, then now we're looking at 2 seasons in a row. And I feel like we've been giving we've shitted on him, especially like guys like Riddell and them. They just so we'll see how that plays out. But hey, man,
Dude,
this has been an episode of Open Field. Go ahead. You got something to say, Mike?
Oh, I was gonna say, I think Shador. It's looking like Shador is gonna drop, which I don't necessarily agree with, but from the looks of it,
I do.
From the looks of it, he's gonna. I mean, we can get into a conversation about Shador later, but yeah, because that's gonna be like an hour long.
Might be strategic, low key, because I don't think he wants to go to the Browns. One of them boys.
I don't think he will. I don't think the Browns are going to draft a quarterback. They're just not.
I ain't trying to make it go on too long. But did y'all see them at the combine when they was talking to Ward and they wasn't really talking to Shador?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I think that was a little crazy, bro.
But that's cool. Do what you got to do.
I'm not worried about that for him. But the last thing I'll say is the other team that I'm most looking forward to seeing a specific player is Brock Purdy. And the reason why I say that is I think there is a specific, not only was the fact that, they're retooling because they're just kind of in a bad position with salary, just, guys like Trent Williams there's a lot of money, but I think the fact that this team isn't as good anymore, okay, this is going to really show how good Brock Purdy is, and it's going to show how, if you really give him a $45-50 million deal, because that's what is saying he wants. So if he is willing, if this is going to be the tester year, this is the main year. If he can have a good season and, they can be in that second seed in the division, make the playoffs. If they can make the playoffs this year and he has a good year, I think that he'll get that $45-50 million. I think it's a make or break year for him.
I'm actually very happy that they got rid of Debo because I see George Kittle going crazy this year. And Jennings getting to do his thing, and he got personal. So it's gonna be a good season for him, and hopefully McCaffrey's healthy. And shout out to Bryce Young. Let's see what you do this year, my guy. As always, man, we appreciate you guys for showing up. It's gonna be more of us here next Wednesday. We will be here next Wednesday. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We'll be more consistent. We'll be back. See you guys Wednesday. And as always, we out this piece.